Hi YouTube. This is Mission Impossible for the Nintendo 64. Today I am breaking down the world record run for this game, which I'm currently the world record holder, at 56 minutes and 30 seconds. Today we will be explaining how this run works. You start out by playing through Loonquist base, which is kind of like a death trap of really random game mechanics. It starts out with a platforming segment and then this building here where you have to get a pixel perfect alignment to get a kill shot, preferably within your first two trigger pulls. If you can't do this, then you're probably going to reset the game. You're going to lose a shit ton of time here if you don't do this correctly. The other random factor is this guy right here. This is Boris. And my chat knows Boris is a fucking asshole. He does whatever the fuck he wants to. There's nothing that you can do. Like, it's you either get good Boris or you don't. Sometimes he will run after you get him the note. Sometimes he will walk. Sometimes he won't even interact with you. And it's total bullshit, but that's just the way that this game works. But if you can't get a good kill shot in the beginning, good platforming, and a good Boris, then this run is probably already dead. The fastest I've ever been able to do Loonquist is 1 minute and 26 seconds. I don't think it's possible to go any faster. I'm more or less confident I don't think it's possible to go any faster. So that being said, I think we got a 128 here, which is totally fine. And then you move on to subpen. So in subpen, you can't really make up a whole lot of time, but there are plenty of places that subpen will try to cost you time. One thing that comes to mind here immediately is this door. Sometimes this door won't open. Sometimes you will jump in front of the door. Sometimes you will open the door and you'll get stuck on it. It's just the way that this game works. So the only thing to do to really clean up your time here is to have really aggressive lines. Like entering that little storage house is a good example. I'm steering very violently with the stick when I'm going through that warehouse. If you get hung up on anything, this will probably also kill your run. So generally you want to be handing the mine off to Clutter before the beat drops, like in the song. That's actually how I keep track of how fast I'm going in the stage, is what point of the background music am I at when I hand the mine off to Clutter. So when you go to put the mine on the gunboat or the patrol boat, you can place the mine at the second last black line on the staircase, the second to last black line. Any further than that, you might whiff, and any point too far over, you're wasting time. So, and then the rest of this is just like simple, just routing and having a good line. And then you can jump off the side right here instead of taking the ladder to save a lot of time. I think older runs used to use the ladder to get down, but the secret is to jump off the side. If you jump too early, you'll die. You have to jump at a very specific point, I guess. I'd say maybe like a second after crossing that corner. So that's 3 minutes and 12 seconds on subpen, and then we're moving on to embassy. Embassy is another level that will ruin your life. You have to place smoke generators here in 6 vents. The secret to saving time here is to try and place the smoke generators from as far away as possible. But right here, this particular vent, you have to be careful because guard movement is random. So sometimes the guard will be too close to you and you can actually get spotted as a result due to the issue. So you have to be careful and you have to be mindful. You can't autopilot that second vent. So this third vent, however, you can place it from like a football field away, like I did right here. The interaction box for these vents are pretty big, and you want to do your best to stretch this out. So you'll see when I do it again here, like I stopped short. This next vent that's coming up can also get you spotted if you try to place from too far away. So there are 2 vents that stand out to mind where you have to be careful because you could just get smoked by a guard for no reason. So another thing that we want to talk about is, you see that guy that we just passed? That waiter. That waiter can ruin your run. He's ruined my run several times. Waiter RNG is very real. If you don't get to the bartender before the waiter gets to the bartender, he will actually cost you 20 seconds on your run. So thankfully this time we had good waiter RNG. You can already look and see how pressed I am here at this point, just because I've seen it fail there so many times. So everything's going as planned. You go pick up the score from the guy that's sitting on it, and then you drop it on the pianist. 455 is optimal for delivering the score. There is a quiet, unspoken mechanic with the ambassador. When he stops, he's not active for like 3 seconds. So when he stops, it's best to count like to 2, give or take, depending on how quickly you count, maybe 3, before giving him the drugged wine glass. So otherwise, he'll just pretend like you don't exist, and you'll lose a shit ton of time. This game is amazing at costing you time for absolutely no reason. I can't stress how many times it took for me to actually successfully pull this off. So now that we've handed off the drug glass to him, the ambassador's going to run to the bathroom. We're going to take out the blowgun here, and I'm pretty sure I missed this shot, but you can save time by using the blowgun here. No, actually, I hit it. I think there was a theory that punching the ambassador was faster, but the blowgun is definitely faster. You want to get in with the blowgun. So once you've switched faces with the ambassador and, you know, changed your costume and your disguise and everything, you can simply just leave the stage. But you do have to drop the last smoke generator, which is at the top of the stairs to the left. Once you do that, you're pretty much home free. Speaking of which, you don't have to worry about Schofield in this. When you're speedrunning this game, Schofield might as well not exist. She's not a factor. She's not a threat. Schofield only punishes people that run really slowly. So you should never even have to think about her. So we're going to go ahead and drop off this last generator here. And then at that point, you can sweet spot this actually. Because if you get hung up on the pillar to your right, then you might scrub a little bit of time. So this is Embassy, and it's finished. I do believe it's possible to get sub 7-minute Embassy, but you have to be sweating like really, really hard. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next part of this very cursed run, which is Warehouse. So to my knowledge, everyone hates this stage. Not people that would speedrun this game, but like everyone. You're going to run out of the elevator immediately, and you need to tag the guard that's right in front of you. And in the interest of saving time, you want to pop as many boxes as you can without actually jumping over into the next part of the stage. Ideally, you want the guard to fall where you can just simply walk into the ammo that he drops, because you need a minimum of, I believe, 15 rounds to finish this after picking up the key off of the guard that we're about to see here in a minute. You can't stand too close to the explosive boxes. They will cause damage and they will cause a knockdown. And when Ethan gets knocked down in this game, it takes an eternity for him to get back up, to get right back up. So ideally, you just want to not take damage here. You know, run around the funny Amogus guys and get on with your life. Pop this box right here and then pop this one as well. And that is Warehouse. That's what it should look like. It rarely looks like that. So, again, if you're struggling, it's not you, it's the game. So the next part of the run is KGB. It should be said right here that there is a bug in this game that when you try to put your weapon away, on KGB specifically, occasionally the game will ignore you and cause you to throw the run. So pay extra attention to whether or not you actually got your gun unequipped before leaving the elevator. You're going to talk to the commandant or whatever and steal the video scrambler, excuse me. And you want to go talk to Barnes in that little office as you saw, and then you pick the face maker up from the closet. So there's a lot of mashing in this stage. Like there's a lot of mashing in this stage. So at this point here, you're going to talk to the general. You can save a lot of time here, as I'll show you right here, by picking up the dart gun and immediately just hauling ass to go pop this guy before he even gets a chance to turn. We used to actually just grab the dart gun and wait, and it's been found that it's much more optimal to do things this way. So I would recommend that if you are trying to do this, which I don't think very many people will, but if you're trying to do this, don't wait for him. If you wait for him, you're just costing yourself time. And here, this doesn't matter. Ignore both of these guys. They mean nothing. You might get hit a couple times, but just run in, drop the video freezer, and go. There's no sense in shooting them. It's a waste of time. And at that point, you're going to go into this back office. You're going to pick up the transfer papers, and then we need to go see Candace. So now that we've got the transfer order, we can go back to this guy. I don't fucking know what you call him. The guy that ruins your life. Hand him the transfer order. and you'll want to go ahead and lean on the left stick going through before the cinematic even finishes, actually. And you want to mash on Candace and then back up. Backing up in this game is actually like really overpowered. It's a lot better than it looks. I would not do a full rotation to get out of that office. I would just back up, turn, and leave. Once you leave the office, you can just stand in front of the card reader and just mash over and over on the card until, like you basically get a guaranteed fastest pace possible. So then we move on to security hallway, and you have to jump over all these tiles that will either electrocute you or have the sentry gun shoot you. These tiles are always random, and usually you get the worst tile set when you're sweating. Like when you're sweating for a world record, this game will try its hardest to fuck you over. So again, it's not you, it's the game. You get a different tile set every single time. Some tiles do trigger a guard to come out, but you have to dispatch or dispose of all the guards before you summon Candace over with the button. Otherwise, the run will be ruined. So now we are in Sewage Control. Sewage Control is kind of one of those stages where it kind of feels like no matter what you do, you can only go so fast. This is largely due to the moving platforms. You really have to fuck up on this stage to lose like serious time. There's not like a whole lot of places to save time here, I guess you could say, like in the traditional sense. So like things like do as I say and not as I do, you don't have to jump there. I just do it because it's a bad habit. It doesn't make a difference because you're not going to save any time by trying to get ahead of the platforms. The platforms will move at the speed that they are, and that's just kind of the end of it. Like there's nothing you can really do here. I know that like a lot of people don't like escort missions, and well, I'm kind of one of those people, but out of all the escort missions I think I've ever played in a game, this is one of like the less offensive ones. You're going to use a lot of hip fire here and try not to get hung up on this corner. Hip fire is kind of the goat here. It's really important to recognize when you're wasting time using over the shoulder aiming versus just hip firing. If you can just hip fire an enemy, like we're talking, you're saving like 2 seconds of hip fire easily. This adds up over time. Like right here, this is a great example. I used to over the shoulder that guy. I hip fire him now because anything else would be simply a waste of time. This is a great example of why I hate this game. It's because sometimes you try to interact with something and Ethan just wants to jump. Again, it's not you, it's the game. Anytime that you feel like you're just garbage and can't get anything done in this game, don't worry. It's not you. It's the game. So leading Candace back here, you'll want to stop at this point right here. You want to stop and visually acknowledge that she's keeping up with you, like when she runs out right there. Candace has a max range before she starts sprinting. If you're too close to Candace, she will only walk. If you're too far from Candace, she won't keep up at all. Like she'll just stand there and she doesn't know what to do. So you have to find that sweet spot. And like the line that I just showed you is the sweet spot. You keep up and just make sure that, she's staying with you at like 2 different points. And then you have to clear out this hallway before she gets here. If you take too long to clear out this hallway, she will run in front of you and get tranquilized, and it will ruin your run. Ask me how I know. So let Candace into the supercomputer room and wait for her to do her thing. So now that you have the knock list, you still got one more guard to stun right here. You want to switch to your pistol, not your trank gun, but your pistol right before the stage ends. The reason for that is because you have to wait on Candace here anyway, so you're not wasting any time. And in the next stage, you spawn with the pistol ready already, and you're going to need it here. You don't need the trank gun for this stage. So you can't mash start here. This is an A button mashing only segment. You have 4 sentry guns that need to be popped. And then at that point, you need to get to the end of the hallway. This is just like a rehash of it's like security hallway part 2, basically. All 4 of these turrets need to be destroyed, and then you'll meet Candace at the end. Do not touch the control panel. If you touch the control panel, you'll electrocute Candace. I don't know why that is in this game. I don't know why that's in this game. It's just there. It's like an opportunity for you to wreck yourself for no reason. So once Candace opens the door, you can go in, and the door will close behind you, and Candace will get jumped. She's got like a sick Charlie Murphy cross kick here.
Congrats
Anyway,
on the WR Brava.
So now that you've picked up the mask, we can go ahead and take out these guys. You got 4 guards here, and then you want to take out this runner that's coming up on you. Okay, and he'll drop the knock list. Once you get the disc back, you can wake up Candace, and then you can simply head to the end, and you are good to go. So this is not the end of Escape. Escape is 2-part. It's basically like Security Hallway and KGB mashed together. So as soon as you come out in the second part of for KGB, you want to immediately use the Facemaker and then go back into the General's room. So it's the same thing as before from last time. You're going to reveal the bookcase. If you're going fast enough, there's going to be a guard that sneaks in here with you. So take the video freezer back. If you're fast enough, you can make it out of this door without the door closing behind you. And then you're going to go back into this back office again. It can get crowded here sometimes. And unfortunately, that's just kind of like the nature of the game. Candace literally just almost fucking died right there, by the way. Grab the key. And again, try not to let Candace get body blocked. It can be a pain in the ass. It is what it is. Anyway, so yeah, that's Escape. Escape can be shit sometimes. I think Escape is one of the less offensive parts of the run that I've had to deal with, but it can definitely cause you hardship. So next we'll do Fire Alarm. So Fire Alarm is a stage that I initially thought was pretty cut and dry, but there's actually like a lot of moving parts to it. You want to immediately stun both of these guys like at the top of the stairs, and then you want to stun everyone in your path. And the only reason that I say that you want to stun everyone is because Jack only moves so fast. Jack can only get to the bathroom when he gets to the bathroom. So you have time to like dilly-dally and take out anybody that might be in your way. And the reason that I say this is because for some reason, sometimes the guards can see through walls. I know it's unfair and it's totally bullshit and it's not the way that this game should work. But just take my advice and stun everyone. Otherwise, you might lose your run. I very rarely had Fire Alarm become like a run killer until I switched to emulation. And it might have something to do with like the clock speed of emulation or something or other, but it's just like all of a sudden, all the guards just have like MGS3, like European extreme eyesight, and it's just stun everybody. But once you get the disguise, you don't have to worry about putting your gun away. This part of the game doesn't care. There's a lot of stealth mechanics in this game that are loosely implied, and it feels like, you know, certain things that you do should cause like a world record or run failure. Excuse me. But there are explicitly like most of the stages don't care if you're not cosplaying all the way. So Fire Alarm is pretty simple despite having to keep in mind that you need to stun everyone. So Interrogation is another story. Interrogation is like a lot of mashing, a lot of good shooting, generally just being ready and having like the presence of mind to deal with whatever the game might throw at you. So you're going to talk to Candace over the comm, and then you're going to pick up the gum that's underneath the coffee mug. So, and then you'll put it on the glass, of course. And there's a lot of spaghetti in this run. And then you'll stand in the corner. You do not want to take damage here. It's actually faster to stand and take the blast, but I don't recommend it. This part of the run is really volatile. We'll get more into that later. But, you know, blow up the window, pick up your kit, and we'll be on our merry way. You want to skip this cinematic as well. So stun this guard, and then as soon as his back touches the ground, you can take his thumbprint. At that point, we're on our way. There's a guard that's right here to my left. Every now and again, again, movement is random, but every now and again, he'll be in line to where you can hip fire him. If he's not, don't worry about it. You might have to deal with him on your way back, but the important part is to get the guy in the SWAT gear, and then these two guys right here. Same deal. As soon as their back touches the ground, you can take their thumbprint. So we'll pop this this door access button. Yeah, see, I almost just got capped there. He tried to do me. And then we'll pop this access panel as well. Shoot this guy. He's an asshole. And then move on. You don't have to hold still for this guy either. The CIA director or whatever. Just keep moving. You'll catch up with him later. Yeah, interrogation is, for the most part, I feel like interrogation is simple, but it's, you know, something can be simple and like still have layers, right? So as soon as you see the door open, stun this guy. Not as soon as you hear the beep, as soon as you see the door open, stun this guy. Like straight up. Because if you try to pull the trigger on the beep, it will actually probably ruin the run. Once you stun him, go into over the shoulder and strafe all the way up to the infirmary. The reason that we do this is because Ethan walks like a drunken bastard if you don't do OTS and strafe. This saves a lot of time. As you can see, like, he's not in a hurry here. Unfortunately, you can't OTS in the infirmary because you don't have anything equipped. And if you walk in with the gun equipped, the run will end. So now that you've gotten the cure or whatever, the remedy from the lady, you can pop the guy on the treadmill by hitting the red button on his treadmill machine, and then wait for the visual cue for the game to tell you that you completed the objective before jumping out the window. If you try to do it any time before that, it will cost you the run. There are a lot of places to lose this run if you haven't noticed. So now we're at Helipad, and there's a... Oh man, I hate this stage. I really hate this stage. There's a lot of praying that goes on in this stage. You want to OTS the first guard, and then after that you want to run through. There's going to be a lot of comm messages here, so you want to be able to mash to get them out of the way, but not mash so much that it's causing you to jump. So the platforming in this stage is kind of a nuisance. The frame rate here is not good. I know it's like a fan favorite, like my chat loves to talk about how dog shit the frame rate is here, and they're absolutely correct. But you'll want to get up, turn off the electric floor, run over, turn off the lights, then jump over the banister and pick up the security card on your way out. And at that point, we're going to OTS the next two guards. This point coming up here, you can actually run past this guard, but there is a slim chance you could get arrested for doing it. Sometimes it depends on how I feel. How crazy are you feeling today? See, like right here, perfect example. You can get by him without stopping to shoot him. If you feel like it's too risky, I definitely recommend stopping to take him out. Again, getting arrested in this part of the game is terrible. It's not fun because it costs you the whole run. Like, it starts you over. You lose a uncountable amount of time. Like, honestly, I'm more scared of getting arrested in this game than I am of taking damage. So you've got the bag from Candace. You want to put on your service costume before you encounter any more guards. Put away your gun and stand here up at the top and start mashing. This dude is not in a hurry to help you. He does not give a fuck. My man is hourly. If he was salaried, my man would be, actually, I think he would go even slower. Either way, he's not inclined to help you. But you want to jump off the banister next to the helipad landing, because going down the stairs wastes a bunch of time. So next we need to put the EMS on the control box next to the helicopter. That'll be the next step of the stage. So now that that's done, again, you'll want to jump off the banister. No using staircases here. It's a waste of time. So when you jump down here, try to have your dart gun equipped midway down. I know this looks terrifying, but this is very optimal. You want to land in front of this guard and pop him as soon as you see him. So, and that goes the same for this guard here too. You have to be super aware of where the guards are in this stage. Again, I can't stress this enough. These guards will fuck up your life. Like, they do not give a fuck. You don't know what kind of guard you're going to get. You could either get like an Imperial Stormtrooper or like John Wick. Like, you could get a hero guard, and that really fucking sucks. So pop this guard before getting to the top of the boxes. I don't use the infrared contact lenses for anything because I know where all the laser grids are. put down the laser grid blocker and get into the security level. Yeah, do not play with these guards, man. They can ruin your day. So again, we OTS this guy. He got spooky. Yeah, that was a pump fake. Sometimes that happens too. It was very clear that, you know, he got stunned and the game just didn't care. You just have to be careful. 10 trank rounds should be enough to finish this stage. If you can't do this stage in 10 trank rounds, you have a loose end somewhere. So at this point, we're dropping off the camera because we need to steal the passcode from the guard to get into the top level of the stage. So this is a good time. If you want, take a smoke break. I think I'm going to take one right now. We're going to chill for a minute. But as soon as you see got the code, you want to watch this guard walk back in, because otherwise you could get smoked. So we have the code, and then you can jump on the crate, and if you're clever enough, you can grab the camera and then just bounce back down without wasting a whole bunch of time. You don't want to back up. You just want to brush up against the camera and then leave. So at this point, we're at the top, and that's about the end of this stage. I cannot stress how stressful CIA Rooftop is. If it feels like it's a dog shit stage, it's because it's a dog shit stage. So I can't wait to talk about this next part. So this is terminal room. You want to count to 2 while going down initially, and then visually recognize when you're about to hit the security bars. Give this second security bar a little bit of wiggle room because it has a giant interaction box. As far as how to get good at terminal room, I don't fucking know. Mash a lot. Like, you have to kind of play with it. I don't think there's a way to get godlike at this stage. I think it's like, you know, pray to whatever deity you enjoy. The mechanics of it are terrible. It's unwieldy, unfaithful. It's probably just gonna give you a hard time several times. It has nothing to do with you. It's just the game. I can't even commentate this stage because it's that fucked. So now we're back on Rooftop Escape. You want to turn left and immediately jump over the banister. This can cost you your run right here. This set of boxes, you want to neutral jump right at the corner of the box, farthest away from the guardrail. If you do anything else, you will get electrocuted. Put the gum on the exhaust pipes so that way you get your distraction so that the guards don't screw you over when you're coming back on the other side. See, as you can see, they're all fleeing towards the source of the explosion. Here's another run killer. You need to shoot this guard through the wall. Through the wall? Yes, through the wall. I'm not kidding. He will arrest you immediately. There is a very, very well-defined line of going too far with this guard. He will clap your shit. He has clapped my shit several times. Do not mess with him. He will ruin your day. The guard at the top, however, is a different story. He's more of a part-timer. You can ignore him for a minute and then go pick up the EMS, do your thing. You know, like, he's way less of a threat. But that guard that's at the corner of that door will actually fuck up your day. So, and that's Heliport. Rooftop is done. So this ends the mole hunt segment of the speed run. And then we're going to be moving on. And if you made it this far, congratulations. I don't know why you're watching this, but I appreciate you being here. So next we're moving on to the latter part of the game. This is the train station. So at this point, you have to provide sniper cover for Ethan while he's looking for Max. You have two guards that are, two henchmen, I guess I should say, that are immediately on Ethan as soon as you spawn into the map. On occasion, if you drop the second shot and miss the second henchman, Ethan will do like a karate kick and take him out and kind of help you do your job, which is really nice. It's like the most helpful thing that this game has ever done. But forgetting that, it's just best to assume that you need to kill them both. I think anything else beyond that would be kind of wasteful. Ethan's pattern in this stage is very random. There's not much you can do about it. There's nothing you can do to manipulate it, as far as I know. He goes where he goes, and there's nothing you can really do to influence it. This is a pretty straightforward part of the run. Just take out the guys that are trying to dust Ethan's cap off. You want to take as little damage here as possible, ideally. Damage here is bad because you need a lot of health to get through train car. Train car can be really, really rough. And again, if you shoot a civilian here, it will be a run ender, because shooting a civilian ends in a mission failure. And just let me just say how many times I've shot a guy for pulling out a Mr. Pibb on accident. So be attentive, be aware. Even though this is kind of like a more relaxed part of the run, you should still be vigilant. On occasion, there are some times where you'll get a henchman that shows up and hits you, like tries to shoot Ethan while he's in a blind spot from the sniper perspective. And honestly, I don't know what you do there. And I'm not even talking about just having a pillar in the way. There are times where I've seen people shoot at Ethan and I can't physically reach them with the sniper rifle. The hit detection here is also questionable at times. Every now and again, you'll have your sights zeroed in perfectly on somebody, and the game will just act like you can't fucking hit them. I don't fucking know why. Again, it's a result of this game's questionable programming. But despite that, this part of the run usually still goes pretty well. I think this is one of the things to be less worried about if you're trying to speedrun this game. There are things in the game that are far more threatening, I think. Just as long as you're paying attention here, I don't think you have a whole lot to worry about. Ethan looks so clueless. Like, he just does what he does. Like, there's no other way to say it. Ethan just does what he does. Has nothing to do with you. It's between Ethan and God. So, once you see Candace run up to Ethan, that's when you know that this part of the run is over, and you don't have to worry about shooting anybody anymore. It's, or at least so I like to think. I've seen a couple instances where a henchman has like squeezed out right at the fucking end for no reason whatsoever. And again, like, this game is just, it's unstable. If there was a way that I would describe this game, it's unstable. It's kind of like the unreliable narrator effect. It's like you think things should go a certain way, and the game will constantly go out of its way to prove you wrong. So just be vigilant. Be vigilant. Recognize that you're running a game that is extremely unreliable. So now we're moving on to train car. Train car can be a heartbreaker sometimes. My advice is to get good at shooting people. My advice is to get good at shooting people, kind of like I'm not doing right here. Like, that was really cringe. You want to be quick here. There's a lot of time that you can lose. The first train car has 2 people, and the second train car has 3. You need to OTS the guy holding the hostage, and then you can probably get away with doing hip fire on the third or the first. But there's so many like civilians running around, you have to be careful. In this passenger cabin, there's a henchman in the first cabin part, and then there's one at the end. So, and then the second train car, I believe there's 3. So he's in the second after the first, right here. And then there's this guy right here, and then this guy at the very end just after Candace. I recommend taking him out before talking to Candace. No particular reason. I just hate looking at him. So get your kit from Candace and then go to the next train car. Hit this red button or you will fail the mission. If you don't get your kit from Candace before hitting this button, you will fail the mission. There is a very specific order of shit that needs to happen here. So when you transition into this next part, there are no henchmen here. Get the guy out of your way, punch the train conductor, and then immediately pull out the facemaker. It doesn't matter who sees you. No one cares. Like, it's just, Ethan is just like skin flaying people and stealing their fucking faces, like right in the middle of broad daylight public. So when you go into this next car, get the tear gas, I think it is, ready, and stun Max at the very end. As soon as you stun her, all of her buddies are going to pop out. So make quick work of them. There's 4 guys in this train car in total. If you don't shoot them all, then the game will actually cause you to fail. It'll cause you to have to double back. So it's really important to make sure that your head count is correct right here. If you don't, then you'll have to redo the mission again. When you come into the bar area, shoot the guy in the back first. 1, because he's an asshole. 2, because he can do a shit ton of damage to you without you being able to do anything about it. And 3, it also occasionally gets you what I like to call the Phelps skip. Sometimes when you do this quick enough, you don't even have to talk to Jim. You just, like, Phelps sees that you just, like, blocked a dude super fucking hard and then just runs in terror. So it's unfortunately something I haven't been able to duplicate a whole lot. But again, I recommend it. Shoot the guy in the back first. So moving into this car, there's 3 guys here. 1 on the left, 2 on the right. Grab the coolant spray and take out the hinges on the safe and defuse this as quick as you can. And that is train car. Again, if it looks easy, it's because it's not. So now we're on train roof. Depending on where your health is, you want to restart the game. You want to go back to the mission select screen and start this over. Train car can cost you. Or sorry, train roof, excuse me. Train roof can definitely cost you. So if you're down bad on health, just restart. The guy that had the world record before me was doing it anyway. So if this is what we're calling a segmented run, then I guess that's just what we're fucking going with. So here, when you're walking along the train roof, whenever Max's henchmen get on the roof to join you, shoot slowly at them. Because it only takes 3 hits to take most of them out. But sometimes, like, just the game acts fucking weird and doesn't want to acknowledge that you got your shit. So if you shoot too fast, they'll just soak bullets. These choppers have to be dealt with immediately, as soon as you see them. Choppers can not only shoot at you, but they can also dive bomb you, which can do a shit ton of damage to you. So if you're trying to get through train roof without, like, having to reset again, the helicopters got to go. They got to go immediately. It is not good to leave these guys out on the field. Max's thugs in the car are a non-issue. They simply don't do enough damage per second to cause you to have to worry about how the rest of your run is going to go. Yeah, just get really good at taking out choppers. Do as I say and not as I do, because I realize I just beefed that shot like super hard. In the event that you have a chopper that you haven't dropped in time, run to the left side of the train roof. The choppers always stagger to your right for some reason or another. You can always try to duck them. I haven't had a lot of success with it. Ducking them is kind of like, it feels like a 50-50. So ultimately, I think you should just go to the left. Like, look, it works every single time. And sometimes you might get lucky and then the bridge might fuck them over. So anyway, the rest of this is just taking out Max's henchmen. At this point, you can see why I reset. Like, you just take so much damage here. I recommend equipping the rocket launching gun before you get to this blue border on the train roof. So that way that you're just like ready to go. Unfortunately, I did not do it here, but just shoot the helicopter with the rocket gun and you're done. And Phelps is dead. So that'll move us on to the last segment of the speed run, which is Ice Storm. I have a lot of things to say about Ice Storm. One is that it's bullshit. 2 is that it's probably my most enjoyed part of the game. So when you start Ice Storm, you want to leave the dock and immediately go over here to this tall stack of crates to pick up one of the first mission objectives. The world record runner for this, the former world record runner, I should say, has a very different route from me, and I'm pretty confident that my route is faster. So you want to grab this item now so that you don't have to backtrack later. And then you're just going to go ahead and run along this corner and you're going to pick up all the other mission objective stuff. Like, for example, like this one right here. You want the mine. This is a mission that's very easy to screw up if you're not paying attention. So there's going to be an item you pick up here and then a guard that runs away from you when you turn left at the end of this crate. He's got one of your key items as well. You want to take that from him and then veer left. If you run in front of the truck, you will get frozen in place because apparently that's a fucking game mechanic and you will get ran over. So do not run in front of the truck. If the headlights touch your leg, your character gets frozen. It's actually stupid. So once you've picked up these things, you'll go back into our favorite warehouse with the shitty door. And we're going to go in here and we're going to drop this Black Ops soldier. And we're going to place the TNT. So there's a pair of pliers, I believe, wire cutters that are on that table there. You want to grab those wire cutters before you leave. Do not set off this TNT. Do not set off this TNT. If you set off this TNT too early, it will cost you the run. You have to wait to set off the TNT until after you've used, or after you save your friends at the dock. So this is actually more of a risky route, but this is the optimal speed strategy. Like normally the game wants you to double back and drop inventory off like piecemeal, with clutter. You want to grab everything and then just be ready for the fact that you're going to have opposition at the bottom of the dock. This dude doesn't look like it, but he has super armor on and he takes more damage than the average soldier. It takes 4 shots to drop that guy when normally it should take 2, maybe 3. So just be ready for him. Be careful not to shoot and miss, because if you miss, you have a chance of shooting the raft, which will sink the raft. And again, it'll cost you your run. There are so many things that you can do wrong in the speed run. So many things that can ruin the run for you in general. But once you've dropped off all this equipment, you need to head back to the guardhouse, which is in the direct center of the map. So at this point, you want to put the gas injector at this door. And it'll take out all of the guards inside. There's a set of night vision goggles that are on the table that you need to pick up. As soon as you pick up the night vision goggles, you'll want to set off the TNT. Because at this point, you can set it off and you'll be fine. So moving on, you'll want to do a quick lefty out of the building and then come off to this building that's off to the side a little bit here. You need to jump on these crates and come help your teammates. They're dealing with 2 of those, again, those buffed Black Ops soldiers. These guys take a lot of damage. You have to bury these dudes. Like, you want to save most of your ammunition for these 2 guys here in this part of the stage. So again, make sure that you set off your TNT before you get to this point, because I think this will also cause you to fail the mission if you wait until you get up here. So Doughy and Clutter will jump on the truck, and at that point, it's up to you to just simply wait. So it takes about 20 seconds for the truck to show up. That being said, you have to jump on the truck, and we call this the leap of faith. This is like, do you guys remember when Indiana Jones did the leap of faith in The Last Crusade? It feels the same way. You have to run and jump perfectly at the end of the building. Otherwise, the game will just vacuum you, and you'll either get pulled underfoot under the truck, or you'll miss the truck completely. If you miss this jump, your run is over. And again, if it looks easy, it's because it's not. And that sums up Subpen 2. So now we're in Tunnel. In Tunnel, you can do over the shoulder, I think, maybe to save some frames, because it feels like the game moves faster. This is just me speculating. You do not want to take damage here as much as you can help it. You need a certain amount of health left remaining to finish out the rest of this run. So you have 8 TNT drops to take care of. There's 2 per set, basically, every time that you get off a truck. You don't want to delay. Drop your TNT and get the fuck out. Like, straight up. Drop your TNT, get out. Like, you want to be quick enough that you don't have to wait on another truck. By the time that you come around to the side where you're supposed to board the truck should simply just be there, ready to go for you. And again, you want to try and avoid taking damage here. It is not good to take damage here. So, we're planning TNT on the second point, so this will leave us with 4. Again, same thing. Like, you're repeating a pattern the entire way through this stage. Even if these guys are getting in your face, sometimes they might try to body block you. Just force your way through. If you gotta shoot them, straight up. It's you or them, and between you and me, like, you know, I'm picking me every single time. So you might have a few obstacles that you have to jump over, but now we can move on and we can do the third of 4 TNT drops. Yeah, don't be afraid to bob and weave. Like it seems corny, but it does work. These guys aren't good shots at all. Like that's the one redeeming quality about this game, is that every fucking thing in this game is a garbage shot, including you. So again, as you can see, I'm using the OTS tech here because I think it saves some frames. Maybe I wasn't too sure. It feels like the game runs smoother here when you're in over the shoulder. So we're going to do the last TNT drop. Same thing as before. Plant the TNT and go. Yeah, this guy I decided to drop because he felt like a liability to me. Your ammo count doesn't matter here when it's all said and done, because your ammo gets restored when you move into Loonquist 2. So at this point, we've met all the trucks. We didn't have to wait on anything, and now we're going to move on to Loonquist 2. So Loonquist 2 is a little different from Loonquist 1. In my opinion, I think it's nowhere near as frustrating. I really enjoy Loonquist 2 because there's like a lot of time to breathe. Loonquist 2 is mostly platforming, in my opinion. You have to go away and back to basically where the game started. This wire fence might look familiar. You need to go up and over the tunnel ridge. So you can actually boost your movement speed by jumping right here at the crest, and it'll help you get down and get things done a lot quicker. There's a lot of velocity tricks that you can do in Loonquist 2 that will get you where you need to go. These two guys up here, this guy on your right can die from a one shot to the head. This other guy takes mad damage because, again, that's that Black Ops factor. That's what I call them. I call them Black Ops. They just have mad health. Like I don't know what else to say about it. They just decided to make these dudes badass as fuck. So you're going to drop down from the roof and you're going to go talk to Clutter. Clutter's going to give you more explosives. And then you're going to backtrack once again. So you're going to go along the right side of the building, and then you're going to jump these crates, and you're going to head back the way that you came. So if you remember from Loonquist 1, it's kind of like Loonquist 1 in reverse in a weird way. Don't waste a lot of time here, like worrying about where you're going to jump. Just jump and get down. Like, and again, you can use the tunnel's crest to like your advantage because it gives you like a bit of a speed boost when you're jumping down. So you're going to go through these boxes. You want to hug the left side of this fence here because it's the path of least resistance. It's where you're least likely to get shot. It's where you're least likely to get caught. There's nothing but positives that you can get from sticking to the left here. I heavily encourage people that run this game to drop your TNT first, because I've actually lost a world record run due to having the TNT still in my inventory because I decided to do the plastic first. Yeah, do TNT first. Then you're going to open up this control box, and you're going to leave the plastic in, and you're going to bust guns. You can do that hip firing, but over the shoulder is preferred, because sometimes the hip fire just won't work out, and the game will just pretend like you're not fucking hitting it. So, and I actually, I made myself panic here, because I thought that I was in trouble because I didn't have enough rounds to take out the accountant. If you run out of bullets, you can just simply punch him. And I love that for me. It cost me some time. It probably would have been a lot better had I not been so reckless. But worst comes to worst, you can punch the accountant and it's fine. So you're going to use your face maker on the accountant. You're going to grab his card. Do not leave this building with a gun out. Again, this game is very hard to read with when it cares about what you're doing and when it doesn't. So in Loonquist 1, you can run with your gun out in disguise, and the game doesn't care. If you run around with your gun out in Loonquist 2 while disguised, the game will shut you down immediately. I don't know why it's like this. Like this level and KGB are the two levels that stand out to me immediately, where the game cares whether or not you're being in character, if you will. So we're going to go back into the safe house now that you got your ID card. There's nothing you can do to make this door open faster. You simply just have to wait and mash. There's no point in talking to the guard that's tending duty at the front desk. It's literally just stand at the door and mash. So you'll get the suitcase and then you'll leave. And at this point, we are starting to get to the tail end of the run. So take the suitcase back to Clutter. He's in the same place that he was before when he gave you the TNT. Clutter will rig the suitcase to explode, and at that point, we're going to go into what I call the back house. So at this point, I saw like the world record holder before me jumps up over like the banister for the staircase. There's no point. There's literally no point. As soon as you have the suitcase, like it doesn't matter. Just like it just haul fucking ass, because like it takes, you know, however long for the helicopter to actually fucking land. Like you're in purgatory here. The game will decide when it's ready for you. There's no point in trying to hurry anything. You're going to be waiting here for a second too. This guy takes his sweet fucking time. So once this guy gets here, mash through the dialogue, you know the drill. As soon as you see Ethan complaining about the mask and he goes to rip it off, you want to switch to the sniper position. Once you switch to the sniper position, there are 4 guards that you need to take care of. And you'll see it right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you'll switch back to your off pistol and you'll run out. And at this point, you just have to wait for Clutter. This is a lot of standing around that's done in the stage. There's literally nothing that you can do here to make Clutter go faster. Clutter will show up when he's good and ready. Ooh, shit. I dropped my phone. That's fine. It'll be on the YouTube video. Anyway, so Clutter will walk out, and at that point, do not get on the boat until you are sure that this dude is going to get on the boat with you. If you leave too prematurely, you can actually accidentally leave without Clutter, and it will cause you to fail the mission. Again, there's just like really like particular shit that costs you this like runs in this game, and I don't know why. But yeah, generally let Clutter get on first. You can get on at the same time or maybe like a little bit before him, but ultimately, like, you do not want to leave without Clutter. It is possible to leave without him and it will cost you the run. And that is Loonquist 2. So now we're moving on to the final stage of the game. This is Gunboat. So I'm going to go ahead and reset here just because I was concerned about my health. This is no big deal. It cost me a couple seconds, but I felt like I could spare it. Gunboat is really straightforward. Shoot anything that moves. Shoot shit that doesn't move. Like, shoot everything. Everything must die. You can take mad damage here if you're not careful. But this is basically just an on-rails, like a Virtua Cop segment, I guess you could say. Everything here's got to go. Like, there's going to be mines that are floating in the river. They can do a shit ton of damage to you. So spare nothing. Spare nothing. Like, literally, like, spare nothing. Don't be ashamed. The best that you can do is to blow the back out of everything on this stage. The frame rate is kind of a little hard to deal with sometimes, but like ultimately, if you have at least half health going into this stage, you're probably safe to just finish it without resetting. But this segment kind of speaks for itself. It's just like, don't be a shitty shot and you'll be fine. I have seen this game freeze before at this point. I've actually lost a world record run due to this stage freezing. This game is very buggy. It can glitch, it can freeze, it can skip, it can do it all. It's like the fucking jack of all trades when it comes to fucking up your existence. So, you know, if you're unfortunate enough to be playing this game and you're on a hot streak with a good ass run and you just tank the shit and the game hard locks on you, it's not your fault. It's just the way the game is. It's just, you know, don't beat yourself up about it too much. But ultimately in this stage, pay attention to the fucking landmines. The mines can really ruin your day. Everything else seems like largely inoffensive. I know that the gunboats can kind of hurt you a little bit if you're not paying attention, but you know, there's not too much that I can do to put lipstick on a pig here. It's a really straightforward run. So finish out Gunboat, blow up anything that moves or doesn't move. This is the chance to get your aggression out. Like this is the equivalent of what do they call those? Like the destruction rooms or whatever, where you like go in the room and like break shit. This is that. So Gunboat is the only thing standing between you and victory. It is still very possible to lose here, but uncommon. So you'll have 2 gunboats to take care of. You're gonna shoot a shit ton of AA guns, a shit ton of warehouses. You know, you name it, this stage has it. So just kind of carry through, keep your head low, pray to God. You know, pray to your favorite deity, and it should be okay. I don't think you have too much to worry about. So the last thing you have to deal with on Gunboat is these stacks right here. You're gonna take down these 2 big towers, and then you're gonna deal with these stacks at the end. I believe if you shoot the stacks, how fast you shoot the stacks will affect how quickly the stage ends. Don't quote me on that. I'm not totally sure because I haven't labbed it myself, but I'm pretty sure. So, but yeah, that's Gunboat. That's a done deal. And this is the world record run for Mission Impossible at 56 minutes and 30 seconds. So if you've made it this far, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. This was not possible without... I have a very supportive and loving community, which to this day I still feel like I don't deserve. Thanks to everybody that was pushing me to get this done. And I know this is not a fan favorite of a game, but I think we kind of made it a cult classic on our own just by running this back and doing it over and over. So I don't have too much else to say about it, but if you plan on running this game, I really recommend maybe like some Advil or like Midol or some shit like that, because this game will drive you fucking crazy. So yeah, I think that's it. So thank you guys very much for watching. This is the Mission Impossible 64 world record, and can't wait for the next project. So thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, comment, what have you. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a nice night. Peace.